Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and I have snacks. Welcome to Morgan and Friends' lazy Sunday afternoon productivity stream. Today, I have Doc Coleman with me. Say hello to the nice people.
Hi, I'm Friends.
Sako,
I'm
sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure, and I'm here to help make this a more enjoyable occasion for you all.
uh, I believe Sako might pop in later, but she's off doing Eastery things with family and or celebrating 420, but I think Eastery things.
I think it's mostly Eastery things.
I don't know.
You can tell these days.
You wanna know how much I'm celebrating? I got a basket. It's got candy in it. I'm excited. Okay, but that's for the snack portion of the
Yeah, I
stream.
was I was gonna say it's like I have an empty container and I have a bag of jelly beans over there. And during one of the sprints, I'm going to go fill it. So,
Oh, it's one of the locklets. I like the locklets.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I'm at
I,
the
I
age of go ahead.
I'm sorry. I got these to 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 carry like cheese into my lunch because I have a big container of lettuce. I bring cheese in, put the cheese on the lettuce so that it doesn't like do weird things with the dryness of the cheese and the moisture of the lettuce when
Okay.
I take my lunch into work. Um, but they come in a pack of four, so they're just like useful.
They are. I was just gonna say I'm at the age of which I have opinions on types of Tupperware, and also there was an incident once upon a time, the Christmas after I graduated from college sorry, the Thanksgiving after I graduated from college,
Okay,
before I got a job using my degree, I was working as a barista at Borders, so a couple minutes ago, and,
as you should.
and I was making about 100 less a month than my expenses were, and
Uh,
so when it came time to, like, put all the Thanksgiving stuff in the fridge, I packed up a good amount for me, and my family has never let me live down the time I packed up all the Thanksgiving leftovers and went home with them. A, I did not take them all, but B, I got Tupperware for Christmas, and C, I'm like, now I'm actually making money. I can afford something other than ramen.
yeah.
Um, but but that was a tight like 6-month period, and like and yet I'm apparently the person who packs up all the leftovers and takes them. I'm just like, it was a very specific time in my life in
It
which
was it was a personal sacrifice that you made so that the rest of your family would not be uh, 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 impacted by redundant leftovers that they would get sick of
I
within
mean,
days.
obviously, I mean,
They should appreciate your self-sacrifice more.
my self-sacrifice, and yet. So, anyhow, let me pop into the comments and see who we
Because we got
have.
people.
We have a Sarah, hello and welcome.
Hey,
We have
Sarah.
an Amanda. We
Uh,
have a Devin. Are you 2 all for Sundays
yeah.
we are.
Well, we try. I mean, sometimes stuff comes up and I can't make it. Occasionally, Morgan's been busy, and Sako and I have tried to do a stream, but
Yeah,
it's really her stream. So
sure,
if she's not making it, we
sure.
I usually bail. But I
I
also stream video games on Friday nights, and she has not yet come along.
right. Yeah, no, I'm a little obsessive when I play games, so I try not to when I'm in the middle of a project.
Mm,
I I remember in college, I refused to install anything on my desktop because then I would get distracted, and I was a software engineer major, and so I couldn't afford to be at my computer and get distracted.
mm.
And yet, I learned there's a limit to how much solitaire one can play. I was playing the version of solitaire where, like, if you right click it auto like, anything that was ready to go up would go,
Mhm.
and I was doing speed runs in which if it took me more than 52 seconds, I wasn't gonna be able to win that because of the way the deck was stacked, and at one point, I realized that a tear was coming down my cheek because I hadn't blinked in a while.
That that sounds a bit much. Yeah.
So yeah. Also, I think the main game I've played recently, well, Loaf, Spirit City, I've been doing a lot of, but that's more of a co-working, chill background
Yeah.
music thing, and Minecraft. And like, let me tell you, I would rather dig than like, oh my god, a skeleton might come get me because Morgan has a very well-honed startle reflex. So
Okay.
maybe it's amusing for people listening to me scream, but at skeletons that I know are coming, or the bat that just comes out of nowhere, ugh, or the what are the little things that come when you break some of the dungeon blocks?
I don't
Like,
know because I don't play Minecraft, but
anyway, popping back
yeah.
to the comment. Cora is here. Hello. Is
Hey, Cora.
toggling between writing and video editing. So let me go ahead and put that. Cora. Okay. And for this stream snack, Devin's going with 1 hazelnut macchiato. Nice. Hello, White Seer Gaming. Good to have you. Whoop. Devin thought we were being rude. Nobilis is here. Hi.
Hey, Nobilis.
Oh, it's been a minute. Let's see. Devin made their own writing focused operating system for absolutely zero distraction and then sits alone on a train so the cell's connection is spotty and the phone will also not be much use. Some people do the like alphabet or what are they called? The word processory things.
All I'm thinking of right now is For the Words. Oh, but
No, I mean like literally the word processory thing that is not connected and you
it's just a word
yeah.
processor. Yeah, they call those word
Yeah.
processors.
Alpha Smart. No, it's called an Alpha Smart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, meanwhile, I like to draft A on Google Docs so it'll sync across my phone and like totally not my work computer and all my devices. And well, these days I work from home, so my personal laptop's right there anyway.
But I was going to say, one way to avoid distractions is to have all your games on one computer and do all your work on a different computer. Especially if they're separated from each other. When you're at your work computer, it's hard for those distractions to get you.
It's true. But I also usually have like Etym Online, so I can look up the etymology of words and pick like terms. And I have dictionary.com open. And yes, I could use like a flip dictionary or whatever. But like, or, I'm casting spells so that I'm on like rhymezone.com or whatever, coming up with words that rhyme. And yeah, so Nobilis says there's also free write and they're very expensive. Yeah, not for me, but I totally get it. Oh, I was rude because I don't join you on your Friday gaming shenanigans.
Oh. She's not playing the same games, and
yeah,
maybe someday, just not right now.
Maybe, yeah.
If
we do need to.
If we ever figure out how to stream Beat Saber, that might change.
Right? We need to do Beat Saber again, is what I was about to say. So, let's see. Devin also uses Google Docs and moves text back and forth using USB to sync it with Google Docs at home. Okay. Yeah. I know a lot of people struggle with Google Docs for larger documents, but honestly, just hit the button that says make it available offline, and then it doesn't auto sync every 10 seconds. And it handles my 126,000 word document with no problems once it loads. And so Nobilis says, hi and good productivity to us. Thank you. If I like Minecraft, I should try Valheim. I will Google that. Valheim.
Valheim is a game that Nobilis and our friend Paul Schaefer both gotten into.
Oh, nice.
That you're kind of you're like a lone Viking and you're trying to survive and you're building up your own enclave and dealing with critters and natural disasters and things that are trying to raid you.
See, I like to avoid the attacky things, but not go off of survival mode because that feels like cheating.
See, I kind of like No Man's Sky because it's much more survive, explore, and build, but there is a certain amount of combat to it.
Yeah.
There are wild animals that can attack you. There's natural events. There are other players who will attack you, but you can turn PvP off, and they can do that all they want, and they won't actually hurt you or damage your stuff. So
Nice. Yeah. So I mean, I've definitely played games with attacky bits. I played World of Warcraft for ages, and my mom was very disappointed when I quit playing with her. Um, but and hi, Diablo, and I've played games with like actual killing things, and I still have my Nintendo, my Super
yeah.
Nintendo, and Dragon Warrior 4. And let me tell you, my mom was a high school librarian and laminated the monster sheets and the maps because we were wearing out the pages. She and I, not my sister.
Right.
She and I, because we game so much. So let me pop into the comments and let's see.
Where were we?
Amanda says she needs 115 words to reach the weekly goal. White Seer Gaming is going for 1K tonight. Let's see. Sarah is like, I'm not a fan of any of my options, but I've used Word for so many years, I don't intend to change. Yeah, I just didn't have access to Microsoft Office when I started doing the writing thing, and then they changed to a subscription service, and I just refused out of like scoff. And I'm a recovering Google fangirl. I mean, I've definitely ever since the last decade's
they
been
dropped
rough.
the "Don't be evil" slogan, it's kind of gone downhill.
When they went public and became publicly traded as Alphabet is really when they started to go downhill. But the number of things that I adopted that they have dropped like a hot potato when whoever the developer whose pet project it was moved on, and then they just stopped supporting it repeatedly. Yeah. Google Reader was a huge part of my life. Okay. And then it died, so we had to start sharing, articles via Facebook, and then Facebook turned into a political cesspool. So like I have feels. I only wanted to follow friends' links that I wanted to, not everybody's links.
Yeah. And Google has this bad habit of encouraging their engineers to come up with things that people will love. And then they look at them and they don't know how to market them, and they don't know if people will really use it. So they put them out there for free, and people use it and love the heck out of it. And then they really don't know how to market it. And so then the engineer moves on to something else, and they try to, I mean, they've been trying to drop Google Voice for years, and it's like, why?
Yeah,
you make enough profit on ads, run it as overhead.
Yeah. But seriously, that's what I was saying. Yeah, when the Google person's pet project, they move on, and then Google's like, and that's no longer supported.
Yep.
Go away. Let's see. Cora has an hour of footage to edit, and is, depending on how much she laughs during the first 30 minutes, it might turn into 2 minutes of video footage. Oh, okay. That's under already up there. Okay. Chorus says, scammers always pick my writing months to take longer to realize I'm messing with them. And Sarah is not writing today. She is, in fact, celebrating the holiday.
Excellent.
Celebrate good times. Come on. Catechus, I can't hit save. Thank you. Woo, I can't spell. Let's fix that. Great. Thank you. Okay. Devin says, I just love that I have a laptop that has no more than a text editor and USB capabilities for the sake of battery life and no distractions. Yeah. Oh, Cora has 2 videos to edit
Uh,
And Sarah says, I play Valheim too. I can't stay focused for long enough.
mm,
Cora has to play Minecraft on creative because her son prefers to cheat. Yeah, the only time I've ever played on creative is when I was playing with kids under the age of like 10. So
I
Devin's
know
like,
that
uh-huh,
I was gonna
go ahead.
say, I know that No Man's Sky does have a creative mode where you can just focus on building stuff, and some people do amazing builds on that. And you can also mess with your own settings and turn basically turn fighting off, or at least make it so that fighting doesn't have any consequences for you. Uh,
Sure, sure. So Devin sees a pattern of me not playing with people. It's true. That way I don't have to like wait for timing to align. And honestly, like my first 3-4 years of writing, I did nano back when it was, a thing that I did, but like I didn't even reach out to the community for the first 3 years I was
yeah.
participating. Even though I like people and stuff,
Mhm.
I'm an ambivert. I extrovert until I'm done and then leave me the bleep alone. So okay. Anyhow, we've been chatting for a while, and Catechus is definitely ready for the best day of the week, Gushy Food Day.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and get started and do our first sprint. I'm gonna get Catechus his gushy food, and then oh. Guess what happened Friday night or like Saturday at like 2 a.m.
What happened Saturday at 2 a.m.?
I finished drafting Twice Bitten, Thrice Shy.
Yay!
I was streaming, so that stream is totally out there. With the whole Spirit City thing I was testing out last week for some pop-up streams.
Hmm.
So yeah. Spirit City is like what I have seen a lot of Twitch co-working streamers use. It's got some lo-fi music and like an avatar you can have just like chill in front of a keyboard and type or read or whatever, knit. And it has built in a timer and a to-do list you can check off. So it's like specifically meant for like Pomodoro sprinting and or co-working. So
So does
it's
it stream by
mhm,
itself, or
yeah.
are you sharing that through StreamYard?
I was sharing it through StreamYard with my face in
Okay.
the middle of the timer.
Okay.
So yeah, Sarah swung by because
Yep.
Sarah's cool and was not doing other things on Friday night because, some people
Yep.
have lives and I was finishing my manuscript. So
Yep.
my goal today is to copy it over so I go from rough draft to first draft and then remove all the striked out like scenes that are no longer going to be in it and then outline what I have so then I can start figuring out what I want to change at the higher level. So
Yep.
oh, Jacob's here. Hello, King Red Spy Red X. And Sarah is, in fact, the coolest.
It
True
is not.
facts about this, Sarah. True facts. And Devin says, what is a life?
A life
Um,
is what happens to you when you were busy making other plans.
oh, I
Uh,
was going to say it's what happens to my characters.
oh, okay.
So, okay, Catechus. Okay, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. Can I mute? And we're back. How was your sprint?
Surprised they didn't hear the alarm go.
I
um,
did it. Did it?
I did not hear it, so I don't
Bring it.
know.
Make sure the audio is selected. So
But I got jelly beans. Turns out that one of these will hold a 9-ounce package of Brock's jelly beans.
oh, nice.
And I also pulled out another Easter treat, where's the area? A Cadbury caramel egg.
Ooh, nice.
So couldn't find any of the Cadbury cream eggs, but I at least got a 4-pack of caramel eggs.
Sure. Okay.
So I got snacks and I got some editing done.
Ooh, my microphone's distorted. Yeah. Give me just a second.
You have ads playing. How sneaky of them to put ads in the timer block.
Does that sound any better?
It's lower, but it's not distorted, but you sound more distant.
Okay, I switched. Maybe
That's
the mic
better.
needs to just be further away from my mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, sorted. Okay, so I copied my finished draft into a new document because I save each of the finished drafts
Right.
each round so I can go back and grab anything that I cut or whatever.
Yeah.
And
That way you can cut with abandon in the editing process without losing anything. Yes.
exactly. So if I change my mind, it's easy to roll back or whatever. So I went through and I removed everything that I had struck out from the scenes that like I cut or like I changed the direction of the scene. And I went from 126,050 words to 118,609 words. So, yeah, there were already before I even be like, oh, this scene came in too soon and we need to just jump halfway through. Before I even do any of that, I have cut 7,441 words.
Nice.
For no effort. So, and I do have to, so I have created the start of draft 1, boop, 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 that is complete. And because it's Sunday, Catechus has gotten his gushy food. So let's go ahead and move these completed tasks to the bottom. So, okay.
All right.
And let me pop into the comments to see how everybody else is doing. Devin said my microphone was distorted, so hopefully we've got that sorted.
Yep.
Sarah said it's almost time for her to eat something.
Eating something is good.
Right. Amanda started to write and got 113 words, and then the cats let her know that the automatic feeder was broken. It was so broken. And 5 minutes early. So Devin said having ads in your browser is a skill issue these days. Yeah, true. Cora got 353 words. Had to put some music on to help with the scene and block out the family noises. Legit, I hear families can be distracting. I'm very distractible, so I totally get that. And Devin's going to be on mute for now and is wrapping up their chapter editing with 40 minutes left until they have to be published because of their deadline, personal deadline. So,
yeah, that's
oh,
what. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I got away from publishing every week. When I was doing a podcast that featured, like my progress per week, it was a pain to always have to write it, record it, and publish it every week. And you couldn't really stock up any evergreen stuff in case something went on. So,
I mean, I blogged for 10 years and vlogged for 7 and podcasted for 4.5 years. So I did it every Wednesday night without fail for like almost 10 years. Definitely since I started video editing. I didn't miss a YouTube until last January. And then I was like, because I would write the blog post on Wednesday night, read through it a few times as part of my recording and editing process, and then post it before I went to bed. And it started to slip from like 10 p.m. to like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. and I still haven't started yet. And then, oh, well, as long as it goes up on Thursday, it still counts. And then I'm like, I'm not getting as much out of this as I used to.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with it. And yeah, I've talked about this before, but November of 2023, my executive function busted. And by, January of 2024, I recognized trying to keep doing all the things was just compounding the burnout.
Yep.
So although I want to bring the podcast back because it's literally just the video in podcast form for people who prefer podcast form over it. And like my brother-in-law just pulls the audio out from pre-recorded stuff. But I stopped with the romance episode because the audio was crap on that. And I want to re-record before I move forward. And I haven't re-recorded it. And it's been sitting there for a year. So maybe today will be the day I re-record because it only takes me 15 minutes to prep each episode. And it's like content I already have, just putting it out there in a format that more people can find accessible. And it's like, it should be a no-brainer, but
and getting your brother-in-law to prep the audio for those other episodes.
I mean, it's not hard. He just
theoretically, you could skip that one episode and have him prep the audio for the episode after that.
Worse,
and then insert that one when you get it ready.
It's already posted. It's already posted, and it's the most recent post. And I want to fix it. And for some reason, I have a block on. I won't set up any more episodes until it's been blocked. And he can prep all the audio he wants, but he doesn't have anywhere to upload it to because I put in the tag and the blurb and the headline and the stuff, and I pull it from the blog post. And yeah, so like it takes me 10, maybe 15 minutes tops, and then I toss it all on Dropbox. And he's an audio video editor, and it takes him like, an hour to do.
So the only thing that's hung up on that episode is you.
It is. And it's been that way for a year. And I know exactly what the problem is. It's me. The problem is me. To quote Taylor Swift.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But at least you've got some of your executive function back and you can at least write and stuff.
Yeah. It's good to be able to write, even if the reading is still happening at a ridiculous level.
Yep.
Do you want to know?
Actually, I was just thinking, not yesterday, but the week before, we were down at the storage unit of a friend of ours that died, and we were trying to get it cleaned up so we could get rid of it.
Sure.
And we had some friends there who were helping us, and at one point they all turned to me and said, "We need a decision. You're the one who doesn't have ADHD. Decide." And I looked around and it's like, oh great, I'm surrounded by 4 women who all have ADHD.
And decision fatigue is a thing.
And cannot execute and have no executive function right now.
Oh yeah, it's real. It's real. So I double checked my Goodreads, and I am currently at 232 books for the year.
Oh, not like last year.
Right. I'm only 123 books ahead of schedule.
Only 123.
So, let's see. What day of the year is it?
Takes time. Well, we're still April, so it's only the 4th month, and we're just like 2/3 of the way through that. So,
okay, I think today is the 109th day of the year.
Okay. At that time, I heard the alarm.
Good, 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 good. Okay. So anyway, I'll do my math later. Let's go ahead and get started with our next sprint where I'm going to be outlining the chapters that exist rather than outlining the chapters I expected to exist, which I think is a great start for any writer, especially if you don't write exactly what your plan was initially. I like to do the outline and draft a query letter after the first rough draft so that I
Mhm.
can really see what the focal elements of the story are. Um, like the themes, I try not to write themes, but I like to find themes in my writing and then make sure that the story supports those themes, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So,
Well,
okay.
I like emergent themes. Uh,
Exactly. I feel people who go into a book writing a theme end up not always. There's plenty of people who can do it, but it very often turns into an after school special. Um, or you get the person who, even if they write delightful, if they're like, "Oh, I wrote this story because of this and this and this," you feel
it
like you're getting
runs yeah, it runs the risk of becoming really preachy really fast.
yeah, yeah. And even if the story isn't written that way, if the pitch is written that way, it turns a lot
Mhm.
of people off, I think, even if they agree with the premises. So,
Yeah.
we don't like being preached at. So, okay, going ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, boom.
Shakalaka.
Shakalaka. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And we're back. How was your sprint?
Going pretty well.
Nice.
Um, don't think I'm moving quite as fast as I was before, but uh, I'm definitely getting in the thick of things as all kinds of action is going on. Though I did have to scroll back a few chapters and drop in a couple phrases to foreshadow some stuff.
I mean, the
As you
joy of
do.
writing.
Yep.
You don't have to do it in order.
You don't have to do it in order, but you have to do it.
Yep. So I have very lightly outlined, quote unquote, like chapter 1, engagement party. Chapter 2, meet at realtors, but I'm getting the word count for each group to see
Okay.
if any one character has too much screen time and where I can, trim down. And like, I already know I don't want him wandering around and like, to
So
see.
now that you've completed your first draft, you're building an outline and you're compiling statistics so you could balance it. Okay.
Exactly. So I'm starting off with the outline, but at some point I'm going to go through and like list all the characters that are introduced in each scene so I can make sure I'm being consistent about what they look like and who is on whose side and that kind of thing. So
That also
yeah.
helps you see if you've got an overbalanced chapter that's too short or too long.
Yeah. So far, my shortest chapter is 1642, and my longest chapter is 4613. So,
I tend to do that. I tend to do that in my second draft as well. It's just that I only write scenes before,
mhm.
and in the second pass is when I go through and actually group those scenes into chapters and name them based on what's going
Well,
on.
I mean,
But
I'm rotating through point of view characters, so each time I change a point of view is a
yeah,
new chapter. It's that's
yeah,
that's all it is.
that's
So
just a different wrinkle to what you're having to do. So
exactly. But I remember when I was writing the first space fantasy that my sentient octopus had a lot less dialogue or
uh,
less word count and dialogue than the two humans. So um
you can understand an octopus having less dialogue. I mean, they
yes,
communicate differently, but
but considering I have to describe like the way that the twisting tentacles and the color that they change and everything and like the
yeah,
prickles of the skin, like communication is still happening. But
yeah.
that character was more of a loner, so yeah. Anyway, popping into the comments, Dwan just rolled in late, like he does. And I clicked it, and the thing scrolled on
There we
me.
go.
Okay. So everybody said hi, Moon. Cora got 5 minutes out of the hour edited and had to stop because they have to throw a kid in the bath because he got into his dad's drink.
Uh-oh.
Phew. And then the dad took over. So she gets to grab the toddler now. Oh my goodness. Good luck cleaning that up. That sounds like fun.
That's type 2 fun, right?
Yeah, definitely. So let's see. Sarah says there's an old program called Y-Writer that is great for organizing that stuff. I'm just using another sheet tab on my Google spreadsheet. That's what I used last time. And like I have one tab tracking my word count. I have one with my world building. I've got one with like all the names and descriptions and whatever. So one detailing out the magic and what the color and the smell and the association it is. So I got it. Yeah. So let's see. White Seer Gaming got 885 words so far.
Right.
Snaps. You are definitely on track, knock on wood. Do not want to jinx you for hitting that 1K next sprint. So Sarah said I can still use Y Writer, but it is old. So White Seer Gamer says very close to hitting 20K words.
Nice.
And Devin says 8 minutes before midnight, chapter published, 8 weeks in a row.
Yay!
Done. Nicely done. Let's go here, pull you up to the top, and go boom.
Boom.
Cut you off. Oh yeah, very good. Oh, okay. I've caught up on the comments.
Deadlines are great. I love the sound of them as they go whooshing.
So I got through 13 of the 29 chapters for the how long are they and what's going on in this chapter. So
Right.
Just yeah, putting everything together. It's exciting seeing it all laid out. And some people I know use like Trello boards with like the different scenes to move them around and stuff. Or like literal post-its on the wall and things like that. But
Yep.
I like to write in order, although I am debating the order of should this happen before this. So I might switch some stuff up because I'm pantsing and it's horrible and I hate it.
Well, I will have to admit that's one of the things I do like about Scrivener is that if you decide you need to change the order of scenes or chapters,
Mhm.
it's just a drag and drop interface.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
really
I
easy to use,
I
but
so rarely write out of order, and in this case, I have to highlight the chapter, hit Control
yeah.
X, and then move the cursor and hit Control V. So, especially since they've got the chapter outline thing so you can jump around easily, it's not an issue.
Yeah, it
And
just makes
because I move scenes around so rarely, it's not a huge draw for me. It saves me 5 minutes once every 2 years.
not arguing that you should do it my way. I'm just saying this is a feature that I like that I have.
Sure. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's a lot of reasons to use and love Scrivener. Like if you write out of order, or you like to have a lot of notes for your world building, or you use a Mac, or you hate yourself. I mean, there's plenty of reasons.
Or if you actually like to be able to lay out an outline on note cards and drag them around and then like flip them over and write the story on it, it supports that. It does.
I'm just not seeing how that's. Then again, we've already determined Morgan is not a hugely like visual person. So like maybe people who are more visually oriented might
Yep.
find a lot to love in
Well,
that.
that's the kind of stuff that is usually done by people who are writing like movie or screenplays,
Sure.
movies, television type stuff. That
Yeah.
they tend to do work like that, and it 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 adapts for that. It accommodates that. So,
Sure. That makes sense.
but nobody
So,
has to work that way.
yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Amanda got 304 words in the last sprint, putting
Nice.
you at like what? Half of your target for today? Because you got 100 and change in the last one. So you're halfway to the 815.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe more.
So,
Maybe more.
I mean, it was just 100 and change. So it depends if it was closer to like 10 or if it was closer to 50 or
It
whatever.
was 113 because the cats were complaining about their feet here.
Then slightly less than half. So, but a 400 word sprint is not unheard of. So fingers crossed, totally could happen. Yeah. Let's do a quick stretch. We've got 40 seconds. Virginia's getting hot, and I'm not sure I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I did not go outside yesterday, but I think it was supposed to be like in the high 80s up here.
It was definitely in the 80s. I don't know how high it
it's
was.
definitely getting unseasonably warm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're supposed to have all of April and most of May with more reasonable temps before it becomes ridiculously hot.
I went on a 15-minute walk, and then I helped a friend rearrange his wood shop
Hmm.
Let me tell you, there was no air conditioning in the upper story of the wood shop, and we're hauling around like drill presses and router tables, and it was hot. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Yep.
I was rewarded with like raspberry lemonade, so that helped because
It's
snack fueled,
definitely actual snack fueled writer. Um,
snack
it's
fueled anything really.
it's definitely a mitigating factor.
Snack fueled productivity. So
Yeah.
okay, let's go ahead and get started so Amanda can get her words in three. Let's see.
Oh,
Juan's
oh,
417 would be slightly less than half. I'm sure she'll knock it out for sure. Thank you for your vote of confidence. Amanda said, so yeah, just under half. Getting there. I was circling one description in the last one, so 400 is doable. So just over half. Yeah. And Dwan says, snack fueled writer, hashtag branding.
oh.
So like, follow, subscribe. Yeah. Anyway, let's do our sprint in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Chocolate. And we're back. How was your sprint?
I think it's going well. I believe I added something like 80 words in the process of editing stuff. So apparently I've you know I've hit the groove where I'm seeing what needs to be done and putting it in here.
Nice, nice.
But
So,
and trying to keep the energy up and still clarify better what's going on as this battle rages all around.
I get that. So, I finished outlining what I actually have. And there's some stuff I want to move around because one person gets certain types of scenes all the time and the other people don't, and whatever. And also, my mage has 10,000 more words than my werewolf.
I can actually kind of see that, as mages tend to be more talky people and werewolves bit
It's mostly because he's the one who tries the whole rescue mission and
uh,
ends up getting caught and trapped, and then finds like 6 other people to break out, and so like there's other people to
yeah.
yeah. So and literally right in the middle, about 5k more than my werewolf chick and 5k less than my mage guy is my vampire.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to rebalance some of that
Yeah.
a little. But also, I mean, there's a lot of info dumping that can get cut.
Yeah.
I mean, last time I wrote something, I think my first manuscript, I pencils down at 131,000 words, but like some of it was vignettes and stuff like that. But at one point, I trimmed it down to 80k, and now it's back up to like 92. So like, I'm fine writing long. Um, I love my inner monologue, and I hate description. So I like to add description and subtract some inner monologue when I edit. So
Yeah. I one one thing I like about having a character who basically is kind of a little bit clueless is just like, if I have info dumps, I just need to have that character ask a question, and a lot of times it's like, and the other characters give him a partial answer and say, "I'll tell you more later. We've got stuff to do now."
I mean, you know my favorite, which is uh, when you need to info dump, have somebody complain.
Yep, that's another good one.
So Devin noticed that I was loud and distorted. Did anybody else? And Doc just not tell me because he hates me?
I do not hate you, and I also don't think you're distorted.
Okay.
Um,
I pulled the microphone away further, so
yep.
hopefully that sorts it out. So popping into the comments, Devin said, yesterday I checked the stats on my biggest project. It's 4 of 7 novels, started plus 2 spinoffs, started with a total of 202,236 words, and
1,241,674 characters.
thank you. I have 0 issues. I was
Yes.
trying to mentally add the commas, and you helped me out there, which equals a total normal page count of 690 pages. And it was started in 2015 of November. So, wow, that's a lot. Snaps. Seriously.
That's a notable dedication to gathering statistics.
I mean,
Yeah.
I appreciate them, even if Doc is mocking you.
Who's mocking? No.
Okay, so let's see.
Why are you painting me as the bad guy? I'm not the bad guy.
Wait, so your gaming hit 1,042 words. So let's go ahead and be like, oh yeah, and check that off.
Also,
And Amanda got 525. So that put her comfortably over 815 with 942.
nice.
So checking that off. Awesome. Sarah has cotton candy. So we're going to go ahead and count that as celebration.
That works.
So let's see. Oh, it's just loud and distorted at the beginning. Maybe a calibration after the silence during this stream.
Possibility.
Okay. And Dawn's like, "Oh yeah, we knew you could, Amanda. Go you."
Yep.
So, oh, big yawn. Okay. Sorry, the yawn. The yawn is more powerful than I am. Okay.
It drains your strength, the yawn.
Sure, sure. Popping back into the comments. Thanks for believing in you. Of course, of course. Why wouldn't we believe in
Always.
you?
It's part of what we're here for.
I mean, if especially when you have realistic expectations, I feel like 8:14 is doable in 2 hours. It's, requires a lot of buckling down and focusing for most of us, but there are a couple people who can do that in a single sprint, but I am definitely not one of them. So,
Not unless it's a really good day.
yeah, yeah. No. I think my best friend ever was 700 and change, and I'm not sure if that was a 20-minute sprint or a 25-minute sprint. So 800 in a single sprint is not me.
Yeah.
That's just not happening. I mean, I can type like 72 words per minute, but like that's transcription.
Yeah, writing is a little bit more involved. Yeah.
I'm more thinky when I write.
Mm-hmm.
So, big yawn. Catechus just curled up by my feet.
Oh.
I had a blanket there to entice him. Because I do bribery. Oh! I didn't even check off my own outline. So, Doc, we have 3 minutes left in our normal stream, but we start at 10 minutes late. Do we want to do outros or chill for 10 minutes?
Yes. Outros and chill for 10 minutes. I don't think we've got time for another stream. But
yeah.
But I was just looking at my progress, and I think I'm like halfway through this chapter. So
nice.
I feel like I have done some good progress for editing today.
Sure. Cora got some video editing, but no writing. So we'll just move this down. Children happened. It happened.
Down, scroll above it so we don't see it.
Right. So let's see. Amanda says, between the thinking and all the squirrely moments of distraction, 800 words in a sprint would be a fantastic sprint, right?
Oh, definitely it would be impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one or two people I know who can do it regularly, and they are not me.
Yeah.
I am a marathoner, not a sprinter, and I like to pace myself, and it's not all in the same day.
Yeah.
Like a friend of mine marathon writes on weekends, and she locks her door and puts a sign, "Don't knock, go away." And she pre-makes like sandwiches, like just like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and wraps them in saran wrap so she can grab and go and not have to slow down. I would want that 5 minutes to rest my fingers and do something, right? Like, if I was going to be benching like that, I would also need like 2 walks a day to like let things percolate, and maybe 3 showers. I don't know. I don't even know.
Well, I know when I was at my most productive in writing, I would come home from work, change clothes, and go out and walk for 2 miles. And listen to podcasts, and I would also be thinking about my story while I was out there, and I would come back and it was like, all right, now I'm going to sit down and write all the stuff that I just thought before I lose it. So, and I would do that just about every day.
Nice. Sorry, I found out that I had dropped a croutony thing. My snack for today's snack stream was Chex Mix. So.
Yep. And I had jelly beans. I had one of these classic grass-fed beef sticks because I needed some protein. And now that I have done my editing. I get to have my reward.
I hear that. So, oh, big yawn. Okay.
Provided it
Why
isn't
am I so
cracked and
yawny
all
today?
like caramel stuck to the inside of the wrapper.
Ew. Ew.
Well, that might still be delicious, but that's not a sight that I will inflict upon the shrimp.
Sure.
So.
Look at this. I had a little tractor.
Oh,
Funny. And even more exciting. You want to know what's on the tractor? Truffles.
truffles! It's a truffle tractor.
It's a truffle tractor.
Excellent.
So,
Somebody knows.
right? So these will be going right behind me in the companion cube where Candy goes. I also got a Reese's bunny.
Oh.
And 0 jelly beans because the Easter bunny knows me.
You are not a fan of jelly beans, huh?
I am not. I can do okay with the like Starburst ones, but it's still mostly a texture issue.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's not a requirement. It's just an option.
Yup. Hey, Nix, for just wrapping up. Nix says for them, jelly beans are also a hit and miss. So
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not just me.
I happen to like them.
Oh. Okay.
Nick's got rated, and so Nick's rated us.
Okay. So I might raid somebody when we go out.
Yep. I've still got to get the hang of rating my streams. So
I figured out during the 100 hours of writing that instead of having to go into like the stream manager or whatever, I just need to go into the Twitch window and do /raid and then look for whoever's doing writing right now.
Yeah. that's part of it, is just like to have like a reasonable short list of people you want to raid, and just check who's out there right now, and then okay, you're today's winner.
Exactly. So let's see. Right now it says Nyx is streaming, but clearly Nyx is not. Game of Tomes. Oh, The Terrible Novelist. Go there.
Great title.
Right? So
set those expectations low.
Game of Tomes or Terrible Novelist? Where do people want to go next?
Yep.
Assuming you're on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, you can wander over now if you want to. But White Seer Gamer, I know it's after midnight for you, so get some good sleep.
Yeah.
Well. Thank you, Amanda. Yes, candy should not be both chewy and grainy. You're like the first person who has ever acknowledged this truth. This truth
that
of
is
candy.
It's a matter of taste. That is actually one of the things that I like about it, because I like crunching the sugar crystals between my teeth. But
I mean, I like crunchy things. I'm a huge fan of sweet and salty, but like
yeah.
So
different aesthetic. But
Nick says the hashtag or the /raid command is so OP.
Mm-hmm.
And the Oh How Live Now channel is their place to go to check for live writers to raid. I just followed everybody from 100 hours of writing, and then it's on the sidebar on my Twitch. So
I can see that.
Of course Dwan likes jelly beans. You like soft, chewy cookies too. So like we already know your taste is questionable.
There's room for everybody.
I mean, the soft cookies and the jelly beans are all yours. So Nyx also could never do jelly beans, and the Starburst ones are sometimes eatable. Thank you. No hate to jelly bean eaters, just not for me. Okay, fine. We can be nice to jelly bean eaters if we have to. So more jelly beans for Dwan.
Okay.
It's our offering to the moon. So, okay, let's go ahead and do our outros. And Nyx is rating and running. Yeah, I hear you. Whoop. I hear you.
Yeah, but stay around for 5 more minutes. You can find yourself rating somebody else. No.
Right? Who doesn't want to raid? So go ahead, Doc.
All right. I am Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. If you're interested in finding out more about me and my work, you can go to your favorite search engine and search for Doc Coleman Steampunk, and that will help you find my website at doccoleman.com. It will also help you find my Amazon author page where you can see samples of all of the stuff that I've got in print. And I'm currently working on a goal to hit 30 followers, and I'm at 28, so I just need 2 more.
So close. I'm already there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta bring the microphone closer to my face because I keep gesturing and smacking it.
Yeah. But and that's of course at Doc Coleman at Twitch. And thank you to Devin25 for following me last week.
Yay, that's awesome. So, okay, I'm Morgan Hazelwood, and this here is Catechus, who likes to say hi. No, he doesn't actually want to say hi. He just wants me to give him more treats. So, right. Thank you, Lorenzo DeBoss 2010 for following me on Twitter and a couple other awesome people. Oh, Rachel subscribed to me on YouTube. Thank you.
Because you're not on Twitter anymore because it doesn't
Thank
exist.
you. Twitch, that one. That's what I meant to say. So, and Devin followed me last week because Devin is awesome, and Hulkhead Official and Bryant Johnson are, I think, my latest 4 followers. So thank you all. I write fantasy across the spectrum. I've got 1 short story out there, but mostly I have 7 drafted manuscripts, 3 polished, 2 extensively queried, and a stack of rejection letters because I blame the market and not me because I can, and nobody can tell me I'm wrong.
You're paying your dues.
Right. So next weekend I will be live in, what's the place called?
And you're coming live from RavenCon or from the RavenCon Hotel, because RavenCon.
Right. So I'll be coming to you live from RavenCon. They're going to find a room for me to squat in after the convention, and that's in Richmond, Virginia. I'll be talking about pseudonyms and staying motivated and all kinds of writery things. So check me out everywhere except Twitter. I am Morgan Hazelwood. You can find my Linktree at linktree.com/Morgan Hazelwood. Check out my Redbubble shop for shirts like these. And have a great week. Enjoy snacks and catch you later. Bye.